In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
Hey guys, what's up? This is sorry, I'm gonna scream in the microphone. This is Leah with Crypto Heartland Podcast, also with Everyday Legacy Paranormal, Road Trip Paranormal. In studio, we got Jason, Jake. Sorry, I was trying to adjust something. And the man has returned. Dan, the man, is back.
Hello, everybody.
And we're not on the screen.
We're not on the screen yet.
Oh crap! How about now?
We're all good.
Now we're
good, guys.
Jesus, man. I must have hit the wrong button. Anywho, this is Cryptic Heartland Podcast, episode 91.
91.
We're doing a...
Creeping up along closer to 100.
I know, right? Which is going to be a fun episode. I can't wait for 100. We got some good stuff planned.
I'm waiting for you to just set that up and I'll just show up.
Already... What?
You're going to have it all ready to go, right?
No.
You already know what you want to do, right?
Yeah, but it's not my episode. It's all of our episodes.
I know.
Anywho. But no, we're going to do some fun things that day. I can't wait because I've already talked to the place and we're trying to get into it and make an arrangement. So
Very cool.
It's going to be fun.
Very cool.
So that should be probably, I don't know at this point, probably next year. The 100th we're looking at probably. I'm gonna throw out a date, probably February, because just because the holidays coming up, we'll probably have a couple of shows that we may not do during the Christmas season. Plus, I know we'll probably not do Super Bowl. I'm assuming. Because of we want to watch football.
It's Patriots and somebody else, then I'm more happy to come and do this.
I'm not worried about us. I'm worried about viewership. I'm talking about viewership. Nobody wants to. Anyway.
I don't think there's many people who want to see that.
Another Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I know I don't. So,
so.
Regardless. Yeah. So.
All right. So.
Let me get out of this real quick. Okay. Yeah, let's get some echo feedback. I think that's what the problem is. We heard last week too. Still hearing it. Might be me. I don't know.
It's just you.
Anyways, so we're doing a special episode tonight, as you saw with the intro.
You need to mute that.
It should be muted. I had it turned down all the way. I thought maybe that's the echo.
There you go.
I don't know. Anyways, we're doing a fun episode tonight. We did this a couple years ago. At this point, almost 3 years ago, I think it was, something like that. way back in
I watched it.
yeah, way back in the day, episode 27, we talked about this, and it got pretty interesting and kind of not really heated, but just discussing a lot. So we ended up doing a two-parter.
Right.
We talked about going back in the days, going down to the actual spot. Maybe we'll do that in the future. Not tonight, obviously, because it's time we get down there. The show will be over a long time ago. But we're talking about JFK assassination down in Dallas, Texas, and just some of this conspiracy behind it. I almost messed that word up. Conspiracy. My bad. So, anywho,
Anniversary of it was Friday,
yes, it was.
22nd.
You are correct, sir.
There, I brought some
Good
facts.
trivia question right there, yeah.
Ooh.
Sorry.
But
So what the hell's been going on, guys, besides JFK and everything else? Dan, where the hell you been? Have you been here this whole time and I've just been missing you or something? Because
yeah,
I need to adjust that.
camera
Yeah, I
adjustment.
need to adjust the frame, apparently. I'm sorry, man. I cut you out completely, not intentional. So, anyways. Talk, somebody.
Nope.
Nope, it's
We're listening
all
to you.
Now it's all you guys.
It's Leo's show
Nope.
tonight.
We're all
Nope.
here just to watch you.
Nope, now it's all you guys. I'm not on camera anymore.
It says I'm watching.
Oh,
it,
that's
so-
not
Yeah.
even Okay. So
Okay.
where to begin on the topic?
On what topic? I'm just kidding.
Who's one we got? Oh, yeah.
Conspiracy.
Well, where do you want to begin on it?
Well, it was a long time ago.
Yeah. In a town far, far away.
So, where would you like to start, Leo? On the
On
topics and anything new you've heard from the last time we've talked about this to now, anything new, anything that's come out. I mean, supposedly they put all the information out there that everybody could read about what happened.
I
And,
read it was all
everything.
about like.
put out everything I could out there, but it was still censored. So
Yeah.
it's like, what's the point? I mean,
a lot of it was blacked out and everything like that, so
Right.
you couldn't read anything.
yeah, so I don't know. It's like, well, that was pointless.
Yeah, it really was. It was a moment to say, "Hey, I did it,"
Yeah,
but
still blaming on the government.
yeah.
I mean,
No,
in his eyes.
If there is something to hide, they're gonna hide it forever. Or they're not gonna say, or half of them are dead now anyway.
Yeah,
So
most of the people involved are gone now, so.
so
That's
a
fair,
lot
sir.
of it is does it matter today? That's a question that a lot of people ask me. Does it really even matter anymore? To me, I'm like it kind of does because it was a U.S. president that was snuffed out
Mm-hmm.
in front of everybody
Yeah.
on the streets.
Yeah.
This wasn't, you had Lincoln before that was shot in a theater.
Yeah.
Right.
He escapes for a little while, of course,
Reagan was shot.
Reagan was shot. They got that guy too.
Yeah.
But this is a pretty grotesque shooting in front of everybody, right there. I mean,
Yeah.
having been there myself, standing in the area, seeing the X's in the streets where the shots happen and the fatal shot happened, and standing over on the other side of the white fence, the white picket fence,
The grassy knoll.
and then going over to the grassy knoll. Yeah, it's kind of, it just takes your breath away when you're there. If you're, I hate to say a fan, but if you're a history person and you
History buff.
if you're a history buff and
History buff fan.
yeah,
History
and
buff,
it's just
man.
like it's just still kind of an echo from your
I know, I'm trying to figure out
Okay.
what that is.
but yeah, because I was just blown away by it. It really takes your, especially I went up and stood in front of the doorway where Oswald actually walked out. Now they have that sealed off and locked up. You can't go in or out of that entryway because you have to go in a whole different section. Because the building itself, the book depository, is now today a museum and storage and stuff like that. But it's a huge museum. Have you guys been there?
I've not.
Not to
Driven by
the,
it, I've never been
I've
there.
been to
Houston,
the
but
shop,
I
and
haven't been to there.
Yeah.
I've never been to the actual book suppository. I do that every time.
Suppository.
Every freaking
You
time.
don't want a whole book for a suppository.
Like,
That's
they
a whole
don't know who
book.
said that. 'Cause all I see is you guys. So it was one of those
Oh,
three
damn.
that said it.
That
So
was definitely.
His name was his name is Leo.
I'm not. That's not.
There he is.
Yeah.
But
He's
anyways.
the one with the suppository issue.
A book
Someday,
suppository, no less.
But so, oh man, see what I want to do is really take the forward view, because Roth, He's
good.
here in spirit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Say, wait a minute.
But I'd like to take you guys out there and we take the tour. Everything like that. The artifacts that they have inside the museum is amazing. The actual corner from, the shooter's nest
Right,
is
sixth floor.
the sniper's nest is still there.
But they
It's
won't
all
let-
glass.
They won't let you go up to it, though.
No,
glassed
it's
off,
all
yeah.
glassed
I want
off.
to go up to the window and look out.
Yeah, it's all glassed off. You can see it from a little bit of a
That's
distance.
always been a problem I have with this whole thing. They won't let you go up to the window.
No.
I gotta go up
It's
to that
part of
window.
history. You
No.
can't touch it. Can't touch it.
I
I just
knew it.
gotta go up and look out from that angle.
Yeah, but the boxes are still there. The window is still open, a little bit. They've got glass or plastic there, blocking it.
Right.
But it is still open from where he shot out,
Hmm.
supposedly. If that's the real story.
Then let me go up to the window.
But Jake, you can't touch it. Can't touch it.
Says you.
Well, I mean, the whole section of it is glassed off, unless you can break through that. But they've got all kinds of cameras up there and stuff. So, but they've done experiments. They've had people over there to investigate the spot, test out everything that they possibly could to see if a shot like that could even happen. But as everybody knows, in November 22nd, 1963, JFK was shot. Supposedly it was by one shooter from that window on the 6th floor, and that's what history wants you to believe, and that's what you're taught. But then you have us who have dove into this many, many times, and there's too many little pieces that just don't fit.
I believe it 100%. There's one guy, 3 bullets.
Enough said. Let's talk about demons now.
I'm okay with that. I like demons.
I actually agree with what he just said. After some of the stuff I've read this week.
All right.
I think
No, this is why we like to do this topic, because it's such a touchy topic.
Yeah.
mean, whether it was one guy acting alone, whether it was one
Right.
guy acting with some help, encouragement, or
yeah, I think
multiple people, who knows?
I think the conspiracy lies within the one guy.
Okay.
Not whether there was more than one guy, but the one guy and who put him up to it. Because I don't think it was himself just like, oh, I'm going to shoot the president.
Right.
I think that's where the conspiracy lies.
All right. So, explain. You want to have
Well,
him kick
like
it
I
off?
said,
Yeah,
I
of course.
left
Gotta start
all
somewhere.
papers at home.
That helps.
His visits, 2 of them, to the Mexican embassy in Mexico City.
Mhm.
With the guy that they called, ironically, they talked about, but it's proven that he went there and talked to him. So, things like that, all the way to the mob. I
Yeah.
was reading some stuff on the mob, which sort of gets into the Marilyn Monroe thing that I was talking to you guys about.
Yeah.
Right.
There's several different angles on who could have put him up to it, but I
Yeah.
don't think that.
See, and the thing is about this whole, you're talking about do you call it El Mexicano or the Mexicano, whatever you want to call him?
That was supposedly the guy's code name that he met with at the embassy.
Yeah, but it also said that, and we'll get into that a little bit more. I think we may have pictures of it too. They even said they met with a guy named Lee Harvey Oswald down there, and it was a totally different guy. That wasn't the guy that they threw out there in public.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, he
there
wasn't.
was a
even,
meeting.
It
allegedly.
wasn't even.
Not who you think.
They
it is.
said he was like a kind of a chunkier guy.
Yeah.
The description of the guy did not even match anything of the identity of Lee Harvey Oswald.
Right. So yeah, there probably was a meeting, but with all the actual players who they said they were, that's just it.
Who knows?
Unless you were there, we won't know. But there's pictures of this supposedly meeting, or people that were met, filmed down there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a whole kinds of stuff, and this is why we want to do this subject, because
Right.
it's such a.
Right.
If you've seen the movies, yes, the movies, it is what it is. It's
I haven't
entertainment.
seen the movies.
The movie's good, actually.
Haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
The movie's awesome.
It's a
Long, but it's awesome.
the movie JFK is based upon around Jim Garrison. He's the only lawyer, only person to take someone to trial for the assassination of JFK.
Right.
He did everything he could to figure out a story, and he was running into roadblocks, but yet he was digging up dirt on a lot of people and trying to. Well, basically, it was a conspiracy of rich and the money, that was kind of paying for with some kind of Cuban connection to it. I don't know. It was just kind of a weird connections that he was finding. But some of the people that were involved, had been seen with Lee Harvey Oswald. He was like chumming around with him a little bit, and he wasn't a fixture of it. It almost seems like he was just kind of like a pawn, just being like brought in, brought here, and everything like that. He was quiet most of the time. Wasn't like the a leader of any kind. All these other people were. And that's basically the nutshell of the movie. And the movie is like I said, Jim Garrison going through the hell of everybody coming down on him because he's trying to take down some really rich and powerful people who had a connection to it, possibly. And he losing his staff, people hating him, his own credibility, getting shot down and everything like that.
For lack of a better term?
Yeah, basically.
No pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended, sorry. But when he goes to trial is, in the movie at least, that's where the big impact was because he really brings out all the details of it, including the magic bullet and everything like that. How...
To a magic eraser.
What's that?
I'm just here for commentary.
Well, I don't want to continue talking. You do talking.
I'm just jumping in with my usual fodder. Go ahead.
But, so, the movie's good. It brings up a lot of questions, a lot more debates and stuff like that.
So here's what happens when you talk about the subject. It brings up a lot of questions.
Yeah, a lot of questions.
Yep. Same thing like religion, same thing like, politics.
Right.
Yeah.
Race, you name it.
Well, because, you have a lot of people that the Kennedys were not in good nature with. There's a lot of people who didn't like them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, you got the Union, Teamsters, Mafia, stuff like that didn't like them. The possibility of Cuba doing that, which is probably unlikely that happened that way.
Now there was the whole Bay of Pigs that was about to go down.
Yeah, they had that, the
all
failure of
that.
that.
Kind of stuff, so,
Even Castro for years later would kind of laugh about it, be like, yeah, they keep saying I'm the one who did it. And he's like, it's like, I didn't do it. That's like, kind of like Pearl Harbor, you're pissing off a big country if you're shooting the president or something. They attack our land, we go and we rise up.
Yeah, but then again, we were never able to prove he did it, so if he did it, he did a nice cover-up.
Well, we caught one guy.
Right.
That's the thing. We caught one guy.
And then he got killed.
That's the thing.
Then the guy that killed him didn't live very long either.
Nope, he didn't. So that's where a lot of conspiracies come from with, okay, so you have the one guy who does the shooting. They quickly point him out. He is captured very quickly. There's an APP out on him. The police already have it circulating of description, age, what he looks like. Mainly because he left his book depository building. When they were doing roll call, he was the only one that was not there. So, of course, they immediately just put him out. But they immediately say he's the one who did it. So the police are like, oh, he's not here, he must be the shooter. Right? That's how quickly, police work happens, right?
Right.
Especially in 1963.
Or CSI.
Yeah, or CSI. As we know, it doesn't work that fast. But hey, this is just what happened.
So
they quickly have him.
Right.
They find him. He's spotted in the streets. Yes.
Sorry to interject, but
No, do it. That's what we're here for.
if he just happened to leave
Mm-hmm.
to go home, didn't want to be there, didn't shoot, didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Why did he kill the cop when he came to talk to him?
That's a
But
good
did
one.
he? That's
Did he
another
though?
one. There's
I think so.
eyewitnesses
I
say he
don't think
didn't.
so because there's eyewitnesses there on it. Not one eyewitness could actually pinpoint him as the shooter.
Yep.
And all of them that were there, the guy who actually ran back up there because he said he saw it in the rear view mirror of his truck, he was actually quite a ways away.
Right.
Now, some witnesses say that there was two guys
Yep.
that was standing there with Officer Tippett.
Yep.
And that it was a bigger guy
heavier
who
set
actually pulled the trigger.
Was
All
he-
the eyewitnesses have conflicting
yeah.
ideas and sayings. There is no actual proof that he did it. And the police never tested him for firing.
Right.
They never tested.
Actually, they did. They ran paraffin tests on him. That was one
Well,
of the things
everything
I
I've ever read
stuff
Everything I've ever read is saying that they never got to it and never presented that and never have shared it with anybody.
that may have been some of the new stuff that got released, but they did do paraffin wax
Did they?
tests on his hands.
Why didn't they ever bring that
Did
up?
they say they did, or did they actually do it?
Did they
I
say
don't
they
know.
did?
I'm just asking. I'm just
Yeah.
asking that
One of
too.
the documents I was reading through on the new release
Okay.
stuff in the National
Then
Archives.
why didn't they ever share that with anybody? Because for all these years that I've
I
ever
wasn't there,
known.
dude.
No, I'm just saying. I'm talking out loud. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking out loud about it. Because then why didn't they ever share that then?
You
You
got
know,
me?
prior to this, you know, oh, they just wait till we share it later because, you know, it'd be interesting to, you know, see, you know, when they actually added that in and then released it, because they've had time to do that. But for as many years as I've been reading into this, they never did. They never said that they did tested him, and they never got around to it.
Oh.
See, again, conflicting information about stuff. And it's crazy. But, you know, so they get him, they arrest him so quickly. He is, basically he's arrested, and the person that, you know, at first he's only getting arrested because the officer's dead,
Right.
you know. And not one eyewitness to the shooting of the officer could tell that it was him, but yet they arrested him because, well, he shot the officer, so he must be the one who shot the president, right? So, then, it's pretty much the newscast, the people that were filming him and interviewing him. He's sitting there saying, I don't know why I'm here, I don't know why I'm being, you know. It was a reporter that tells him, well, you're arrested because you shot the president. And it's that look on his face that always got me, that stopped me in my tracks when I was watching him. He's just kind of like, fuck, like I'm being... They're nailing me for this.
Right.
Like, I just got set up for that. You know? That look on his face just always stopped me right there.
Yeah.
And I'm not the only one who's ever seen that and said,
Right.
oh, that's weird, because it's a reporter that's telling him.
It's always been baffling the fact that from the time the timeline itself, when the time Kennedy was shot, well, the shots ring out, he's hit, he's rushed off, you know, taken to a local hospital, and then all this goes down for the time that Oswald gets arrested is how not very long. I mean, they already had their man out, APB out. Look for this guy. Why they had APB out already? I mean, how can they tell? All you supposedly heard was, you know, shots, smoke. Not a person running, not a person doing anything. They always said he casually slips out, supposedly.
Yeah. He walks out the front door. He walks down the street, gets on a bus comes back forward through that area and goes back out around. Does kind of like a weird drive out. He goes about halfway to his boarding house. He gets out, walks the rest of the way.
Right.
Makes it to his boarding house. He walks in. His landlord is sitting in the living room, screaming at him, saying, "Have you heard this? They shot the president."
Right.
He goes into his room, starts packing.
Right.
They hear the landlord remembers a car pulling up outside and honking.
Yep.
When she looks out, it's a police officer's car. It's a squad car. And it pulls off. Right after that, he gets out. He leaves all of his stuff. He takes just his pistol and he walks. He goes, and she remembers like the direction he went and everything like that. Ow, that was my elbow.
Yeah.
She even remembers the direction. It was something. What was that in that documentary that you had us watch? It was something about the direction he turned to go.
Oh God, I can't remember that. It's been over how many years ago?
It was like, oh damn.
Keep talking. It might come to me if you keep
Yeah.
talking.
So everybody would think that he would turn and go away, but he actually turned and went down back toward the direction and everything, and could see him walking.
Yeah.
And he goes over excuse me. Sorry, I had a big dinner, sorry.
Or is the government trying to poison you?
Yeah, they are.
Keep
Then he goes.
quiet.
We're not talking about the Clintons here.
Yet. I'm kidding.
So that so he walks back toward the
Right.
direction at least. He could have gotten on got on a bus. He could have
Yeah.
gone anywhere, but he goes back in town.
And he goes to a movie, which the
Yeah,
reason he
he
went to the
slips
movie
in.
is because supposedly he saw a police officer and it kind of just